Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. Let me see. I think the music might be a little bit loud here. Let me get that. Let me get it a little bit quieter. Let me know how the audio sounds and all that fun stuff. How's it going, everybody? Welcome, welcome. World Tourism Week. It's upon us. What an incredible time for the Upland Metaverse. It's an amazing opportunity to be able to jump into some of these previous tours that you might have missed, right? Now, we have a couple minutes until the tour actually goes live, so I figured we could use that as some time to kind of get settled in and all that fun stuff. As we can see, I'm already in Chicago, and I was lucky enough. Holy moly, there were only like 18 left. I was lucky enough to get the Porto, the Porto Explorer. That was close. Almost ran out of time on that one. I don't know. Hopefully you were lucky enough to get your hands on that one. That was not a very easy one to grab, but I digress. So, hey there. John Henry here, ssftg. Welcome to the live stream. This is a little bit different, right? If this is your first time on the channel, welcome, my friend. I hope to earn your like and subscription today. First off, thank you so much to Upland for letting me host this incredible tour. I mean, not only do we get a chance to go back and do some of the tours that we may have missed or that we really loved and kind of want to do again, but we get to do friggin' Chicago, right? Like, yes, I love Chicago. For those of you who have been on the channel before and maybe have seen some of the weekend reviews that we've done in Upland, you definitely know that Chicago is it's a city that I'm pretty fond of, I have to say. I go there in real life relatively frequently with the family, and it's just a really great place. I even sing it when we get to introduce it, so should be kind of fun. Yeah, as we go in, I hope there's no trick properties like yesterday's tour. If there are any weird anomalies or anything like that, remember, this is live. I'm going to work through it along with you. I'll be your tour guide along the way. But without further ado, within a couple, actually, it should be live now. We get to jump into Chicago. Yes, I got to get it in there. It's been a minute. So if this is your first time doing an Upland tour, fear not. I will be your guide going through all of this. And if there are any weird things or anything like that, don't worry. We'll go through it together. Not a big deal. Tours usually come after city releases. So it's a way that can kind of allow you to go through and check out some of the cool history and some of the cool locations and all of that fun stuff. Now, some of these may include architecture and museums and monuments and all that cool stuff, and even really interesting topics like the mob. Something that we get to talk about today. That helps me segue nicely into what we're going to be doing today, of course, and that is going to be revisiting the Chicago Mob Tour. I'm so pumped for this. It's going to be really exciting. Through this tour, we're going to be using a bunch of different sends and everything that you get from the registration. They should have already dropped, so we should be good there and ready to rock and roll. And then we can navigate around the map and check out different areas in Chicago relating more closely to the mob and all of that. In total, for World Tourism Week, there are going to be 10 different tours going on. You actually get a really cool World Tourism 2022 block explorer for completing all 10. More information on all of those tours can be found simply by clicking the little calendar logo in the top right corner there. And then when you go in there, all you got to do is scroll down to the World Tourism Week 22 area, and that will pop that up inside here. So World Tourism Week, the full schedule and all of that is going to be right there and ready for you. We've already had an awesome tour in San Fran yesterday by Russell Envy. Today, we're going to have the Chicago Mob Tour with me. Tomorrow, we've got the Manhattan World War I Memorial with Remdog, and then on Friday, we have Rio Marvelous Tour with Upland Analysis. So there are a lot of really cool ones coming up. Make sure to get registered for those if you haven't already. Registration for tomorrow's in New York is actually already open, so make sure to get that taken care of. One last thing before we jump into the tour for today. Upland has been so gracious as to not only choose us to do the tour in Chicago, but along with that, they're giving us a chance to do a giveaway, a couple of them, actually. 5,000 UPIX to 2 lucky winners that we get to drop along the way. I am a huge fan of trivia, so get those wikis ready because we're going to be doing some trivia questions for those along the way too. We're going to do one giveaway draw somewhere around the middle area, and then as it is a little bit, it'll be a nice little break there in the middle of the tour, and then the last one at the end of the tour, so make sure to stick around to the end so that you don't miss anything. How's it going, everyone? I see all the chat. I don't know why I tried blocking that one. It's okay. You can show that one. Tally ho! Welcome, welcome. How's it going? So let's take a look at what's going on. We've got a lot of different things going on as far as the tour is concerned, but to get to the tour, all you got to do is go as it's the same place where you registered. You go to the 3 dots at the bottom and you go into treasures. And then from treasures, you have the Chicago Mob Tour. Now, in terms of the overall mob tour and everything that's going on, all you have to do is click on view your locations, and that's going to start things off. The mob tour in Upland, and man, whew, brush it off, Miles. Man, he's looking good. I love that look. It's so cool. So the Chicago mob tour starts kicking off, and we get to have some fun here. Let's go in and view the first part of the mob tour. So Chicago is famous for a variety of cultural influences. Now hang on a second here. Hang on. We gotta set the vibe. Where's the music's going, right? Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Okay, so the music's good. Perfect. Chicago is famous for a variety of cultural influences, but its mob history is one of the most intriguing parts of the city's legacy. Back in the 19th century, American industry was booming, but with little government regulation of business, many turned to a life of organized crimes in cities like Chicago. In a world of growing organized crime, the Chicago outfit was born, consolidating the power of various street gangs throughout Chicago. However, their true fame came during the 1920s when the 18th Amendment passed, prohibiting the sale of consumption of alcohol. Prohibition is what was going on in my head. There's no music? There should be. It might be kind of quiet. How's that? Is that better? That should be all right. However, their true fame came during the 1920s when the 18th Amendment passed, prohibiting the sales of consumption of alcohol. The Chicago outfit quickly developed the underground market for alcohol sales in the fight to control its distribution in the city. This sparked a bloody period known as the Beer Wars, in which the outfit battled with the Irish-American gangs in the north side of Chicago. Famed mobster Alphonse Capone, obviously. Capone. Now, this is the thing that I love about this, and we get to go into some more of the history as we start digging in, but really start remembering some of these mobsters, because obviously if you've gone through American history at all, they're going to be relatively big names in general, but this is where you get to see where all of this stuff starts kicking off. It's so incredibly interesting. Anyway, I'll try not to go on too many segues, but famed mobster Alphonse Capone rose to power during the period, quickly rising through the ranks and becoming one of the most notorious gangsters in history. So without further ado, let's get started. The first location is at 7244 South Prairie Ave. Now, one thing that you can do here is, and it's usually a little bit easier just to have a little notepad on the side, so that way you can take a note of it and write it on the other side. But what I like doing is using the address bar at the top. Saves me some time. 7244 South Prairie Ave, and then you can just copy that and you can jump on over. Now, one of the other things that some of the other tours did have was an autopilot function, which this one apparently doesn't, and maybe hopefully it will kick in after things go. But obviously, this is going to be a relatively good starting point. Let's head on over to Al Capone's house, right? Now, before you take your first send, something to consider when we're doing any sends in Chicago or anywhere for a tour are the send prices. People know, obviously, the Mafia collection in Al Capone's house. Buster Worth was nailed this one. And as far as the property is concerned, it's 125 UPIX to send to this one. Sometimes, if the distances aren't too far, you can send to some of the properties around them, like the next door neighbor, which is only 50 UPIX. So you can save a little bit along the way. You should make the majority of your UPIX back on the tour, but just so that we're on the same page, it's a nice way to save a little bit along the way, just so that you're on the same grounds as me. So as far as the actual sends are concerned, I probably am going to have to type in my code again, and let's get this all done. There it is. Yep, of course. All right. So once we send, congrats. We have our treasure. So let's go to our treasure chest here. I love the suitcase. let's pop open the suitcase here, and this is where we start getting our UPIX back, which is always nice. But along with this is where we can also progress our storyline. Our first batch, 100 UPIX, comes back to us. Let's collect our reward here. Yeah, the props next to it are only 50 UPIX sends, so just make sure, if you're trying to save some UPIX along the way, look for the properties around them. Now, next up, we'll go back into the treasures here, and we'll go back into our locations. The next one, the Capone family home. We can take a look at here, and this is when things start kind of filling in some of the backstory, right? So in 1923, Al Capone relocated his family from New York to this 2,820 square foot Park Manor home. At the time, he was still working under mobster Johnny Torrio, who was the current leader of the Chicago outfit. Capone reportedly paid a modest $5,500 for the home and lived there with his wife and mother, whose names were on the deed. While unassuming from the outside of the home, it's likely filled with copious secrets of Chicago's notorious crime boss. While many of those secrets are still left uncovered, it's rumored that a tunnel in the basement connected to the garage is an escape route. Could you imagine being able to sink your teeth into a place like this from from a forensics ability to be able to go to some of these places and take a look at some of the stuff here? Holy moly, talk about a dream come true. That would be incredible. Anyway, the next address is going to be 1212 West Lawrence Ave. 1212 West Lawrence Ave. So we can jump on over, use our little search feature, and we will jump on over to the next destination. Should be a vine. I know, right? All right. So there are a few things again that you're looking at as far as different spots. Is that the right one? 1212 West? That's 1200. It's got to be this one, right? Why did it kick me off to the left a little bit? That was weird. Anyway, so in this one, we actually have Octavius, who is helping people out. They've got 25 UPIX sends. Thank you, my friend. That is awesome. So with a 25 UPIX send, we might as well just send straight to the place that we're supposed to go and progress our story. Congrats. We've got another treasure. Yes. All right. Go to the treasure chest. Let's check out this case. I do agree. A violin case would be so cool. We'll get our next little batch of UPIX and we can progress the story along the way. 125 UPIX into the pocket. Collect that there. Yeah, 1212 West, and it's just the W. So when you're typing it in, make sure to just do the W. 1212 West Lawrence Ave, and that's Lawrence Ave. Double check the spelling in some of these areas, because I know some of the spelling, especially if you're out of the country, can be really kind of awkward and weird. So just make sure that you have the spelling and all that correct, but that should be good. Yeah, definitely, my friend. Glad to see you in, too. Welcome. All right. The next one on the old agenda here, let's go into the three dots. We'll go into the treasures and progress our story along the way here to the Green Mill. Look at that board. Man, that is so cool. Among Al Capone's favorite venues was the Green Mill, which was one of his most frequented establishments during his active years. In keeping with the theme of secrecy and escape routes, which... Back to that tunnel. I would love to be able to see if there's actually a tunnel there. Holy moly. Several underground tunnels live beneath the ground of his famous jazz club. Capone's favorite performer, Joe E. Louis, was a regular entertainer at the club, and rumor has it when Louis attempted to perform elsewhere, things got ugly. Louis was tracked down by Capone's henchman, Jack Machine Gun McGurn, who insisted... I'm sure very lightly, he insisted, that he was unable to leave due to his lifelong contract. After Louis refused, he was tracked down by McGurn, who proceeded to slit his throat and cut off his tongue. McGurn was careful to leave Louis alive, but ensured he would never be able to perform again. You don't mess with the mob. Jeez, oh Beats. The next address in this case is going to be 6344 North, and that's with an N, Lincoln Ave. Make sure to get that address on there. All right. Jump on over to that address. 6344 North Lincoln Ave. Double check the sends around the area. Double check the address is correct as well. 6344 North Lincoln Ave. 50 UPIX, not that big of a deal. The neighbor next door is 25, and the one down is at 20. So there are some options around there if you're looking for them. I like sending directly to, just because I think it's incredibly lucky that they got those properties. And it's kind of like a pat on the back. Like, hey, good job. You grabbed a cool one. So 6344 North Lincoln Ave. Let's jump on over to this guy over here and grab that next treasure chest. All right. Next treasure chest is locked in. Nice work. Let's lock it up. 150 UPIX back into the old pocket. And we can continue our story. Now, looking at the list, how many are left? We wanted to stop at about the halfway point to do our first giveaway. So we've got about, you know what, I would say after this one, after room 21, we'll do our first 5,000 UPIX giveaway. And it's a little bit of trivia for those of you who've been paying attention. It should be relatively easy to get things going. The second question, I hope you got Wikipedia ready, because it's going to be a little bit heavier in terms of that side of things. Just a little bit of a hint for you. So let's jump on to room 21, and then we'll take care of the first 5,000 UPIX drop from the Upland team. Again, thank you, Upland team, for allowing us to do that as well. Room 21. Really, really cool. Most recently known as Via Veneto, this North Park property was once home to Room 21, Al Capone's largest brewery and speakeasy. I wish they would call more things a speakeasy. I really do. Much like many of the places Capone frequented, Room 21 also had a secret tunnel that led out to the streets. You gotta have a tunnel. If you're gonna be in the mob, you gotta put in a tunnel. Speaking of which... tunnel capabilities? Upland? Tunnels? Are we going to have tunnels? I heard them talking about off-roading a little bit at the AMA. Not going to get off-tracked. Here we go. Room 21 was also the site of one of the biggest prohibition busts in history when Elliot Ness and the Untouchables... Never tempt fate. Don't call yourself untouchable. Charged into the brewery with a 10-ton truck and seized a whopping 200,000 gallons of alcohol. Wow. Ness was famous for his efforts to bring down Capone and enforce prohibition throughout Chicago. His crew, known as the Untouchables, were legendary for supposedly being incorruptible and refusing bribes from the most famous mobsters in Chicago history. The next address, 678 North Orleans Street. Got to put the pause in there. That way there's no confusion. So again, 678 North Orleans Street. And then we can jump on over there and get that going. All right. 678 North Orleans Street. The sends are 100 UPIX. The one just to the south of that is also 100 UPIX. And the one to the south of that is 75. So you're kind of pigeonholed into this one. There's not really a whole lot else that you can do. You might be able to travel if you have some properties that are close, or if you want to mint a monster. There's one just across the street. That's kind of cool. But that's going to be the next one. Now, before we jump into that, we have our first trivia question, and hopefully you've been paying attention along the way of what we've been reading. Other than the normal moniker of mob, something that is used very, very often. Mob. It's always a mob. Chicago had a very prevalent Italian-American syndicate that operated on the city's south side. What was the name of that group? Who's first? To the first person who answers correctly, they get 5,000 UPIX. All you got to do is give me your in-game name, and we'll have Upland drop it to you. I'll read it again. Other than the normal moniker of mob, Chicago had a very prevalent Italian-American syndicate that operated in the city's south side. What was the name of that group? The Chicago Outfit. The Outfit. There we go. We're starting to get it. The first fully correct answer that I was looking for was the Chicago Outfit. So I saw Lawrence Blake, you had the Outfit. That's really, really close. But Monish, Chicago Outfit was the first correct, fully correct answer. That's a tough one. But technically speaking, Monish, you are the winner, my friend. I'm going to need your in-game name for the Chicago outfit. Now stay tuned because there is another one that is going to be at the end of all of this. So there is another 5,000 UPX giveaway to sink your teeth into. In-game name, perfect. Let me get this really quick here. You are the winner, my friend. Congratulations. Let me drop this over to the appropriate people. All right. We got that ready to go. Congratulations, my friend. Congratulations. You nailed it. Awesome job. Awesome work. Now, again, that is only the first giveaway, and that was a relatively easy one. It said Chicago outfit like 15, 20 times up to that point. The next one is going to be a little bit more difficult. I can't make them all that easy. Come on now. So the next one, get that Wikipedia ready because you might have to do a little bit of digging. On to the next address. The next address, 678 I almost messed it up. Not New Orleans, North Orleans Street. Let's go on and continue our story. Congratulations, my friend. I dropped that name over, and you will have that 5,000 UPX on the way to you soon. All right. So, 6748. I thought I went there already, but I guess I didn't actually send there. Oh, no, I didn't actually send there. All right, let me send there really quick. There we go. Now we can collect the treasure chest. All right. Go to the treasure chest. Let's grab that briefcase and add a couple more UPX stacks into the pocket. 100 or 200 UPX on this one. Let's collect that reward. Throw that in the back pocket, and then we can continue on with the story. And there's that big boy if you want to mint that one up north. Holy moly. Anyway, let's go into the treasures here. We'll go into our locations, and we've got the Green Door Tavern. Now, as far as the Green Door Tavern, first off, the outside of this building, chef's kiss. Look at this thing. Gorgeous. Capone had many enemies, but none quite as famous as rival Dean O'Banion. And they led the North Side Gang in Chicago. The Green Door Tavern was among many of the establishments that received their Prohibition-era alcohol from the O'Banion and his North Side Gang. One of Chicago's oldest bars, it still operates as a bar and maintains its original speakeasy downstairs, I love it, which boasts a variety of burlesque shows and even has a secret entrance. Gotta have a tunnel. Gotta have that tunnel. There is also a huge bookshelf that can be moved to reveal a giant hole in the wall, which was used to smuggle alcohol back in the 20s. The address for the next one is going to be 636 South Michigan Ave. Let's get that drop there. 636 South Michigan Ave. All right. Get that one there. You're on the train to Detroit? Yeah, there we go. The tour is here waiting for you. I wanted to do it right when it dropped. I love the Chicago tour. It's one of my favorites. But again, 636 South Chicago Ave. South Michigan Ave. This is 25 UPX, so Octavius, again, dropping the 25 UPX cents. Thank you. That is definitely there, and I'm not even going to look around to the other ones. That's good enough for me. Let's send here and get that rocking and rolling. Pinata! Uh-oh, Pinata! I am terrible at clicking. Don't make me click anything, please. Oh, no. Oh, no. My clicking on a mouse is no good. Go. Oh, no. No, I need like an auto clicker. Oh my god, this is so bad. I can't even click the gun. It's moving too far. What I should have done is shrink my window. That was miserable. Oh no, that was absolutely miserable. So a little bit of a tip for you. If you shrink the size of your window, the pinata won't move around as far. If you're on your phone, you can machine gun the fingers on it. I was not prepared for that pinata, but 285 UPX. You know what? That wasn't too bad. I'll take it. Let's collect the reward. You purposefully switched to your phone? Yeah, for real. Man, that is just, at least it only goes like horizontal, you know, it gives me a chance. Anyway, let's progress on to the next portion of the story here. and we'll jump on in. The next one, the Blackstone Hotel. The Blackstone Hotel, first off, absolutely gorgeous facade on this building. The Blackstone Hotel has served celebrities, politicians, and allegedly, it's always allegedly, we're talking the mob, tunnels and allegedly, gangsters since the 1910. It's been called the Hotel of Presidents for serving 7 decades of presidents in the presidential suite, in which the walls were hollowed out to allow easy access for Secret Service agents. It's kind of creepy, but I guess also necessary. Despite its political ties, Al Capone was a frequent patron at the hotel's barbershop. Its lack of windows made it an ideal location for a notorious mobster, as it would make it difficult for an assassin to carry out his work. Windows are no good when you are a high-profile mobster. Fans of the film The Untouchables might recognize the iconic Crystal Ballroom as the stage for the famous baseball bat scene. So, might look a little bit familiar, but let's get the next address in here. That is going to be 2433 North Lincoln Ave. All right. North Lincoln Ave. Drop that down there. Just doesn't like drive-bys. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, who needs windows? I mean, it makes a lot of sense. That's the crazy thing. Like, you don't think about that kind of stuff when you're not, like, a mobster. I don't know. Like, I've never thought, like, well, maybe I shouldn't have windows here. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those things. Anyway. Looking at some of the addresses around here, again, the address is 2433, 2431, 2433 is 125 UPIX, next door is 50 UPIX at 31. Across the street, there are a few for 50 and a couple 25s, so there are a few cheaper sends that you can go to for this one as well. 2433 North Lincoln is the actual address. It is a big property, so there are a couple to the north that might reach it as well. All right, let's go to the treasure chest, grab our briefcase, and add some more UPIX stacks to the back pocket here so we can continue on our story with the Chicago Mob Tour. We've already got our first giveaway taken care of. Our next giveaway is going to be at the end of the tour, so make sure to stick around. Not only are we getting UPIX back from the registration and all of that from these, but there's also another 5K to give away. So let's jump on into our treasures and check out the next location, the Biograph Theater. Built in 1914, the Biograph Theater operated as a movie theater for decades until it was converted into the space for live performances. It is also a famous location where infamous mobster John Dillinger was gunned down by FBI agents after viewing a gangster movie in 1934. Dillinger was the known leader of the Dillinger Gang, who were allegedly responsible for 24 separate bank robberies. 24. Across Chicago. According to reports, Dillinger was betrayed by one of his confidants, Anna Compagnas, I think there's supposed to be that little squiggly thing over the N, who owned the brothel. He had sought refuge in after evading the police for months. I'll make my way through there eventually. Hey, Puppet! Welcome, Puppet, my friend. How's it going? Everybody else so far? It's fantastic to see all the faces in here. Welcome, welcome. The next location on this one is going to be 501 North Michigan Ave. North Michigan Ave. So far, the tour has been going on without a hitch. I do really miss the auto send feature. That was really nice to have in some of the other ones, but so far, honestly, this is going really, really smoothly. The next address, again, 501 North Michigan Ave. The send for this one, thank you, VT Hokie. I hope that's how you say that. 25 UPIX send on the property. Yes, I love those. Let's send. Move on to the next one. And grab our next treasure chest. Next treasure chest, or in this case, briefcase, is locked in. Let's add a little bit more UPIX to the back pocket here and get this rocking and rolling. We've got 250 UPIX to add to the back, and we can move on to the next portion of the story as well. So over in the treasures area, Let's view our locations and head on over to the Medina Athletic Club. The Medina Athletic Club was an opulent structure built in 1929, which served as a luxury men's club for members of the Shriners. The magnificent building included a wide array of amenities and special features, including a 23rd floor mini golf course. How awesome! Complete with water hazards and wandering brooks, a shooting range, billiards halls, running track, gymnasium, archery range, bowling alley, a 2-story boxing arena, and a junior Olympic swimming pool. Like wow, okay? They took it way beyond what they could have. That is immense. Legend has it that Al Capone frequented the club, who wouldn't, to play rounds of putt-putt in the mini golf course to work on his short game. The next location is going to be 2116 North Clark Street. So get that address in there. And we will add that in. Yeah, the street views I'm going to be looking to come back to. I want to check out some of the street views on these because these are absolutely incredible. But I want to do it after the storyline. I like storylines that are progressive, so don't worry. The street views are definitely there, and we'll be taking a look at them. Some of them aren't as good as they could be, I suppose. But don't worry, don't worry. So the next one, we are looking at 2116 North Clark Street. The send fee is 50 UPIX. Looking a little bit further to the south is 35 right next door, and across the street you've got 30, so that's a big boy. That might not reach it. There are a few, but honestly 50 isn't so bad, so we'll just head on over to that one. What up, Wolf? How's it going? Good to see the Woodhood fam in chat. Everybody else as well. Glad to see everybody. Let's head on over to the treasure chest and take a look at what's going on with the next briefcase and the next portion of the story. Nice work. More UPIX to add to the pocket. 450. That's what I'm talking about. Let's add that in. Along with that, we get to go into some really fun stuff here. And this is going to be the St. Valentine's Day Massacre site. Ooh, this is a big one. In 1924, Capone's rival Dean O'Banion was assassinated by arch-rival Angelo Genna's henchmen. His death sparked a 5-year war between the O'Banion's North Side gang and Capone's Chicago outfit. The war culminated in the St. Valentine's Day Massacre in 1929, where Capone's men, dressed as police officers, lined up 7 members of the North Side gang and brutally gunned them down inside a garage inside the garage. Now, while the original building was torn down in the 60s, the location was previously the site of the tragic incident. Talk about a hard sell, right? How are you going to sell this one? Like, hey, yeah, by the way, some people might pay an incredible amount extra for that. Thank you all for joining in the Chicago Mob Tour. Now we get to see you in the next one. So this is the cool part, because now we can take a look at some of the different street views and all of that. But before we do that, we have a final giveaway to do. There is another 5,000 UPIX that we have to drop to somebody special here. Now, they talked about it a little bit in the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. It is a relatively big deal. But when we are looking at this next trivia question, like I said, get that wiki page out, get those history buffs out. I hope you're ready, because the next question is going to be coming up. The next trivia question on the other end of Chicago is the more Irish, Polish, American-dominated criminal organization called the North Side Gang, or the North Side Mob. We talked about it a little bit here, but on February 14th in 1929, 4 unidentified men, 2 dressed as Chicago police officers, entered the North Side Street garage and ordered 6 of the members of the gang and a friend of one of them to stand against the wall, and proceeded to whip out machine guns and gunned all of them down. There was only one survivor who did die a few hours later. Who was it? I'm looking for the full name. The mob name. Who was the survivor? Died in the hospital a couple hours later, to be fair. guys are getting close. I'm looking for the one survivor who died a couple hours later in the hospital. Very specific. There have been a few that are really close. George Bugs Moran, Frank Gusenberg. I'm looking for that little middle bit. Come on, guys. Can you get the little bit in the middle? Get the little bit in the middle. The mob name. Come on. They always have come on, it's like The Simpsons. It's got a nickname. Not Bugsy. Not Bugs. Tight lips. Put it all together. Someone, give me the full thing. Come on. Come on. Give me the full thing together. Come on, put it in the chat. Frank Tight Lips Gusenberg. Yes, got it. Alex Hanavan. Congratulations, my friend. Frank Tight Lips Gusenberg. Whoo! Now, again, I was looking for the one specifically that died a few hours later in the hospital. The one. Congratulations, my friend. I need your in-game name for the next 5,000 upics. Frank Tight Lips Gusenberg. Oh, what a name. Congratulations, my friend. What is your in-game name? Tight lips, I know, right? That's why I wanted to get that one in there. It's so perfect. Alex Hanavan. What is your in-game name? Congratulations, my friend. I'll wait for you to get that in there. Pesman, thank you, thank you, thank you. Fantastic. All right, let me get that over to the appropriate. All right, now, don't go too far because there are all of the street views that we get to go and take a look at. I am a huge fan of street views, and that's why I wanted to save it for the end, because I spend usually a little bit too much time on street views. I am not going to spend a huge amount of time on them, but some of these are really, really cool. So we want to make sure to take a look at some of these. But that concludes the Chicago mob tour side of things on the storyline. Now we can look at some of the other things. Hopefully you had a great time so far going through it. Let's take a look at some of these street views. So the first one kicks things off at 7244 South Prairie Ave. It's that extra I that always throws me off. Let's take a look and see if that one has a street view for some candy for our eyes. All right. Al Capone's house, obviously, 7244. Let's take a look. What does the street view look on this bad boy? And this is what I'm talking about. Like, I mean, they could have done a little bit more. And this isn't Upland's fault. This is Google. Come on, Google. Get on it, man. It's Al Capone's house. How is that the street view? Oh, man. All right. Well, let's go on to the next one and see what they've got going on over there. On to the locations. The Capone family home didn't really give us a whole lot to work with, but that doesn't mean that we don't have some others. The next one, 1212 West Lawrence Ave. All right. West Lawrence Ave, come on. Give us a street view to work with here. Now, just as a refresher, looking at this next one, we're going to be looking at the Green Mill. Okay? So as far as the Green Mill, I mean, there are going to be some really interesting street views in some of these. I really hope. Yes! There we go. Okay. So, this is one of them that I was really hoping for. This is inside, and I'm hoping that I can go out and show the outside. Can I show the outside too? Yeah, man, I love these street views. Okay, so if we... that's not exact... Let me go in over here. Hang on. Can I go over there? Oh, no. No, let me go over there. There it is. Right there. Oh, man, it won't let me go in there. It's trying to make me tour the next one, the one next door. Well, either way. As far as the street view, if you try to go into it, that's the one that it's going to send you to. So this is the one that we'll look at. I really, really like the look of this. I'm hoping that this maybe connects in the back. It's not going to let me. Oh, man. That would have been so cool. Oh, no. Oh, wait. Hang on. We might be able to get a connection in here. Nope. I was trying so hard. Lovely. Where are you lost? I'll be able to help you out, my friend. At the moment, we have already completed the tour of the story side of things. We've gone through the whole story mode side of things. Now we're going back and looking at some of the street views of these incredible locations. But unfortunately, it's not letting me into the places that I want. I was hoping for some really, really cool street views that we could sink our teeth into. But it's not panning out the way that I wanted it to so far. Not a big deal, but we'll continue working our way through. If you're lost in a specific area, though, let me know. I'll be able to help you out. Everything, I just don't get the app. Gotcha. So there are an immense amount of YouTube tutorials and guides and videos and all kinds of stuff that go over what Upland is and how to get everything going. Honestly, you could just YouTube search Upland. You can go to my page at ssftg. There are a million other videos from other creators as well that will give you all of the basics. Upland Guide is a really, really good website to go to. Upland has their own guides built into them. There are some really, really cool places. So, check it out. But if there's something specific, I'll be able to help you out at least. North Lincoln Ave. All right. Room 21. Can we end the dry streak? Can we end the dry streak? 6344. This one. Ooh. Yeah. Yes, I love it. Thank you. Okay, so if we go on over. Now remember, some of these locations have been remodeled. Some of these locations aren't what they originally used to be. I hope that's obvious as to why. There are, some of these have an immense amount of blood in them. So they have been changed a little bit. But that said, some of these areas, look at this. This is like your old school classic style bar that you would expect to see. I love this kind of stuff. Where will they let us go? Can we go a little further? We can't quite go in there. That's just the closet. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're going further in there. Can we go in the back room? All right. I don't want to stare at people eating, though. That's a little bit awkward. Okay. I don't want to go to the bathroom in there either. All right. Well, we're not going to go too far in here. Otherwise, it's going to be weird. But really, really cool bar. Congrats. Look at this dude. He's all over the place. It looks really cool. I like it. All right. We've got that one taken care of. Get that out of the way. And let's see if the next one will give us a cool street view to work with. We're going to go on to the green door. Right? Is it the green door already? Room 21? No, we skipped one. I can't skip skip North Orleans. We got to go to the Green Mill. 678 North Orleans Street. All right. Get that taken care of. All right. Let's go into this one. We've got 678 North Orleans Street. And let's see. Oh, man. That's really... Okay, so I don't know that we're going to be able to go in. I was hoping that I could go in. But as you can see, still to this day, the Green Door Tavern is there. Now, it might look maybe a little bit different than it used to way back in the day. But let me see if I can get a better view. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. How cool looking is that? I really wish... Can I go in? Oh, I was hoping I could go inside. That looks awesome. I'm a huge fan of really neat architecture. Let me get to the front again. But this is just that classic old school look. Look at it. It's established 1921. They have the old dates. They got the... Oh, man. That's so cool. If you're ever in the Chicago area, obviously, some of these are definitely some big on the mark. You gotta hit these. definitely check them out. I wish I could go into that one, but unfortunately it's not letting me. But at least you get to see the outside of it today, or, well, at least in the last few years, to see what it looks like. The next one on the list as we go down the treasures, we've got the green door. We already took a look at that one. Absolutely beautiful. Now we can head on over to 636 South Michigan Ave and take a look. All right. You can say Orleans by itself if you want to come to New Orleans. New Orleans. Yeah, I know. Don't even get me started on my pronunciations. Come on now. Hey, do you want to know why I didn't do Porto or Rio? Holy moly, that would have been an absolute train wreck. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, let's go into the next one here. 636 South Michigan Ave. That's going to be the Blackstone Hotel. Let's take a look at the street view. Yes. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about here. Look at this. Now, we might not be able to navigate around, but just let this sink in, all right? You come in off the streets, and you've got this, like, marble wall and a walkway. You walk up into the walkway, and you're met with this. I mean, just look at this room. Like, what? This is insane. Man, I really wish that I could tour through this. This is gorgeous. Absolutely just opulence, right? I mean, unbelievable. So, I mean, like I said, if you're ever in the Chicago area, you gotta check some of these out. These are beautiful. Absolutely. All right, let's go on to the next one. That's the Blackstone Hotel. The next one in the list over in the treasures, if we go down in our locations, we've got the Biograph Theater. And again, for those of you who are just joining us, we've already gone through the story mode side of things. Now we are going through and checking out the street views. I am a huge, huge fan of street views, so I tend to spend a little too much time on them. So I figured I would save those for last so we can get our teeth sunk in here. The next one, 501 North Michigan Ave. Make sure to get sent over to that one if you're going along with the treasure hunt, or the tour in this case. And we can head on over to 501 North Michigan Ave. Street view, please? Yes! Whoa, baby. Here's another one. Oh! Now, look at this, right? Oh, fantastic question, Jason. How did you get the full screen street view? All you have to do, let me get my application loaded here. All right. So up in the top right corner, you'll see this expand icon. When you click that, that'll make it full screen. And that way you can like navigate around and see everything. Makes it way, way handier. If you're on your phone, you can actually, some phones, maybe not all of them, but you can attach it to like move it around. You can kind of VR it a little bit. Really cool. So you can make it full screen, and then you just left click and drag around on the screen. You can move it around. But I mean, look at this, okay? If you thought the other one was insane, like, what? Now, there may not be like a marble walkway when you walk in, but you're met with these giant eagle statues that are over you. Oh, and by the way, how about this roof? Look, it's like a planetarium in here. Holy cow. Absolutely gorgeous. If you're a fan of architecture or structure, this dude, I kind of wish I didn't turn them. He's just like, hey, what's up? We've got absolutely incredible architecture in these areas. Again, I can't tour around. It's not letting me. But if you're ever in Chicago, you gotta check some of these locations out. I gotta stop looking at that guy. He's making me crack up. Anyway, let's go on to the next one. And we'll take a look at the next street view in the list. That was the Intercontinental Chicago Hotel. Let's go into the treasures. Take a look at the next one on the list here. I believe we just did this one, right? Yeah, 501 North Michigan. Good. So now we can go to the Biograph Theater, and that is going to be at 2116 North Clark Street. Fantastic. The next one on the list. See if we can keep going with these street views. These street views have been epic. I'm loving these. All right, and I'm still kind of migrating away from this one, but 2116 North Clark Street. We've got this one locked and loaded, and I mean, okay, that looks awesome. This is something that my son has told me he absolutely loves. He loves seeing the ivy all over the buildings. That is wicked cool looking. I'm looking at the neighbor here. The buildings are really, really gorgeous. That is incredible looking. I love that. But there's not really anything that we can look at per se that wouldn't be weird, because this looks like someone might actually live here now. It's really neat looking though. I really like that. That's cool. You can kind of see in there a little bit, not to be weird. Let's go on to the next one and continue on through. Go into the locations. The next one, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, and there are no other addresses after that. So we've got all of them taken care of. Absolutely incredible. Some of the street views were gorgeous. Certainly can't complain about that. And that's going to conclude the entire Chicago mob tour. We got to take a look at the storyline, which was really fun, and we got to take a look at some absolutely incredible buildings and architecture. I hope you had a great time going through the tour with me. Again, a huge shout out to Upland for letting me do the tour with you all, and don't forget, in just a few days, I'm going to be in Texas with the Upland team at the State Fair. So if you're in the area, swing by. We even have 10 free tickets for the fair to give away. So message me at jhb@ssftg.com if you're interested. Have a great rest of your day out there in the metaverse, and we will see you all later. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you all then. Bye.